What's up, everyone? Welcome to Heroes Avenue. My name is Darren, and today we are talking about this Variety article about DC films because, as you guys may have already know, Warner Brothers and Discovery merged, and they are now called Warner Brothers Discovery. And the new CEO is David Zaslav, and he is going to try to take advantage and try to leverage the DC films in ways that Warner Brothers couldn't. And this article just came out, earlier today, and it's a pretty lengthy, medium length article, but it's pretty exciting. But I feel like after reading this, it felt like old news. It felt like this is something we've heard before, on how there's reshuffling of executives and they have a new strategy on how to approach DC films. We heard this spiel before, and I can't even keep count anymore. I feel like this is like the third time we've heard this, and even though after reading this, I am kind of excited for the future of DC films, but I'm gonna tread lightly because we've again heard this before, and it's still a complete shit show when you look at all of the DC slate, and there is still drama circling around the DC films, including the Flash film, obviously. So this article is pretty good. I suggest you guys read it. And there's two things that kind of stick out, and it's two things that everyone is talking about on social media right now. One of it is that David Zaslav wants to look for a Kevin Feige that could oversee all the DC films. And this is kind of obvious to all of us, and this is kind of what we've been vouching for. We first thought, Zack Snyder was that guy, but Warner Brothers thought differently, and they tried to appoint Jeff Johns that role, and then all that shit show came out, and then they got Walter Hamada, and he's kind of the person that is kind of overseeing the current DC slate, but he's not doing a very great job, even though there have been some really great films since Walter Hamada has came out and started working with WB, regardless if you guys dislike him with what he did with the Justice League experience. But so yeah, David Zaslav wants to get someone like Kevin Feige to kind of oversee everything. And one thing that he's looking for is someone that has a business background that can make sure that DC films are working more cohesively or harmoniously. He's very aware that DC films lack coherent creative and brand strategy. And that's something that, just hearing that from an executive, I think that kind of speaks volumes for me. Just because I don't think Warner Brothers has ever, I can't remember right now, but I don't think that they've ever admitted that there's no cohesiveness with their DC films. And just hearing it from David Zaslav himself or from this article, it kind of helps me feel like, okay, maybe this is kind of different this time around, because he's aware that there is problems and there is no end goal for the DC films, right? There's nothing that we're trying to shoot for. The article even mentions Marvel and how DC is always trying to punch up towards Marvel. It's like they're trying to catch up with Marvel, but they can never beat them, or they can never catch up. They always fall behind when they're at a good stride. When they're at a good pace, they always end up tripping over themselves. It's embarrassing at this point. And so I'm really liking how David Zaslav is aware of this and is trying to find someone who could kind of take the strands and kind of just take control of everything. And I don't think Walter Hamada wants to be involved anymore, especially after the whole Ray Fisher fiasco. And so that is kind of my thoughts on that. And the next thing that is standing out to a lot of the fans is that David Zaslav wants to focus on revitalizing the top shelf DC characters, such as Superman. And that is, I went on Twitter today, and that has spun the Man of Steel 2 to start trending. Henry Cavill is trending again. This does give me hope to see Henry Cavill take on the cape again. We all know that it's still in his closet. But it's always the question, which Superman are they going to go with? Because we've heard so many things in the background. We've heard, Michael B. Jordan wants to take on Superman. He wants to do a black Superman with either Val Zod or Calvin Ellis. And we also know that they're focusing on Supergirl that is supposedly replace Superman. So which way are they gonna go with? I would expect it's Henry Cavill. If David Zaslav is aware that DC lacks coherence, a coherent strategy, he has to be aware that the fans want Henry Cavill back. I think that is, if there's a if there's a list of movies that he needs to cross off his list, Man of Steel 2 should be at the very top of the list. Like, it should be it should be on the title actually of this page or this list that he's creating. Everything else can fall under, but Man of Steel 2 with Henry Cavill needs to be on there. It is waiting too long. He's waiting too long for this movie to come out. Henry Cavill has been super patient. I don't care how much drama has happened behind the scenes with Henry Cavill. I don't care if he's asking for too much money. Give this man what he wants so the fans can be happy. You guys are going to see a return on that shit like ASAP. So get this Man of Steel 2. And also, does this mean that, does a top shelf character, does that include Green Lantern? Because I've been waiting for that for the longest time. I don't even know what the hell's going on with this J.J. Abrams deal. Like, what the F, dude? Like, this Green Lantern series on HBO Max was supposed to come out, or it was announced a long time ago, but we haven't heard anything about it. So I hope Green Lantern is part of this, because, the first round of Green Lantern movies, or Green Lantern movie, it was a bad movie, but it wasn't terrible like Fantastic Four. It had great moments, but I feel like the stain is gone. I feel like we're at a new generation now. We're Gen Z's here. I don't even know if they're watching superhero movies, but this is Green Lantern is something that they definitely should tackle. And also, does this include a DCEU Batman movie? Right? Like, we've heard rumors that Ben Affleck is coming back. Does this mean that Ben Affleck's going to get his own solo movie, or are they going to continue with the Robert Pattinson Batman? So I'm curious on all of this. But one thing I know for a fact is, give me that Man of Steel 2. I cannot repeat it enough. Man of Steel 2. Man of Steel 2. Man of Steel 2. All right. So that's it for today's video. So what do you guys think about this article? Let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.